In July 1917, dynamite severed the legs of a 187-foot wooden and steel tower on Long Island. Federal agents watched it tilt and crash to the ground, following rumors that German spies were using the massive structure as a landmark for submarines. The demolition leveled an abandoned laboratory, ending a decade-long effort to wire the planet for power and information. The project belonged to Nikola Tesla. In the year 1900, Tesla was living at the Waldorf Astoria at the peak of his fame, envisioning a future where cables and wires were obsolete. Tesla aimed to bypass conventional physics entirely, turning the Earth itself into a giant conductor of electricity and media. To do this, Tesla rejected the newly discovered Hertzian waves, what we now call radio waves. He argued they would travel in straight lines into space and be hopelessly lost. Instead, he proposed a theory of Earth resonance. He hypothesized that by pumping specific frequencies of alternating current into the ground, he could create massive resonant standing waves inside the planet's crust. According to his calculations, these planetary waves could be tapped anywhere on the globe. A tuned receiver in London or Tokyo could catch the signal and draw power directly from the Earth. Tesla pitched this planetary system to J.P. Morgan, securing an initial investment of $150,000, roughly $5 million in today's currency. In March 1901, Morgan signed the contract, betting on an unproven theory of physics over the emerging scientific consensus of the era. Construction began immediately on a 200-acre site in Shoreham, New York, which Tesla named Wardenclyffe. The architect Stanford White designed the main laboratory in the style of the Italian Renaissance. Behind the laboratory rose the transmission tower, a 187-foot wooden frame capped by a 55-ton hemispherical cupola made of steel and copper. The most complex parts were buried. Beneath the tower, workers dug a 120-foot vertical shaft. At the bottom, Tesla drove iron pipes another 300 feet deep to grip the Earth. 4 brick-lined tunnels radiated outward, possibly utilizing the water table for ground resonance. Wardenclyffe functioned as a massive scientific instrument, physically hardwired into the planet's crust. In December 1901, Guglielmo Marconi announced he had successfully sent a wireless Morse code signal across the Atlantic Ocean. Marconi achieved this using the radio waves Tesla had dismissed, relying on relatively simple and inexpensive mechanical equipment. Fearing his pilot plant would no longer impress investors, Tesla secretly scaled up his designs to include wireless power delivery, a direct breach of his contract with Morgan. Morgan refused to provide more funds, and as the Panic of 1901 hit Wall Street, the overall cost of construction materials completely skyrocketed. In the summer of 1903, Tesla powered up the facility for the last time. Residents reported the tower shooting bright flashes of electricity into the night sky before the facility went dark forever. Tesla's refusal to build a smaller, functional prototype allowed a cheaper, simpler technology to win the race for the wireless world. Tesla's finances unraveled over the following decade. He suffered a suspected nervous breakdown as his creditors began to close in. He had The tower was sold for just $1,750 in scrap metal. Later, the grounds were leased to a photography processing plant that left the soil contaminated with silver and cadmium. The site of a global wireless future spent the next 50 years as a shrinking, toxic industrial lot. By 2012, the original Stanford White laboratory was on the verge of being sold to a commercial developer. An internet crowdfunding campaign led by Matthew Inman, creator of the oatmeal, aimed to save the laboratory. The campaign raised over $2.2 million, including a $1 million pledge from Elon Musk, securing the land for a future museum. Even with its new protection, the site remains fragile. A severe fire in 2023 caused significant damage to the historic laboratory building. A century after its bankruptcy, the preservation of Wardenclyffe demonstrates that the world is still coming to terms with the scale of Tesla's planetary design.